turned smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.
In the case of Thug, like if we were to compare Young Thug and Diddy's case, where you have people admitting that they partook in certain activities, how was Diddy able to get around the RICO and Thug still had to plead out?
Well, Thug was convinced, in my opinion, by his attorney to plea out. You know what I'm saying? If you look at Thug's plea, his plea actually, in my opinion, was not that great of a plea because of the stipulations and the tie that they still have to him, and that one mistake could still cost him 15 years of his life. You know what I'm saying?
When you say it's not that great of a plea,
again, you have a lot of stipulations with these plea agreements. And if he do the wrong thing, if he threatened the wrong person, he can violate that plea, and then he would have to go to jail and do 15 years. You know what I'm saying?
And he's on a probationary period of like 15 years?
Right, exactly.
So in the case of Diddy, how was he able to negate that?
His attorneys, they did a good job fighting, and when you start looking at the totality of the circumstances, the fact that Cassie had already received money for damages done to her, you know, these are factors that probably went through the jurors' mind and stuff like that, that they're already getting paid for, and that I think Diddy's lawyers did a good job as far as presenting his case as to showing that these was just adults having fun. You understand what I'm saying? These were adults living like adults with money. You know what I'm saying? And the prosecutor never really, in my opinion, never really proved the case that he actually charged Diddy of, you know?
Okay. So rewinding, I'm gonna come back to you on that. Rewinding, okay, you're sentenced with a triple life charge because you had to defend yourself. What was that like?
That was difficult because at first, the difficult task is, how do you defend a lie? How do you fight a ghost? You know, so one of the things that I did was I decided to go to school first and foremost, educate myself, and I decided to study case law and study cases. And what I did was I studied the prosecutor's theory, how they operated, how they function, and so on. And I would, unlike most people, I wouldn't read the cases that were successful and won. I would read the cases that lost, because I would want to know why they lost, what they did wrong, what they should have did, what is the court saying that they didn't do, what is the court saying that they didn't prove. And I started studying and using the prosecutor's methods, the prosecutor's strategy, and I started learning to listen first before I talk and before I debate, and make sure I understand and establish their position and their foundation. Then it becomes easier for me to attack and defend once I'm able to hold them to that position.
In the meantime, what's going on personally? Like, when you hear like, okay, we sentenced you to triple life.
I cared. I just didn't believe it, because I know deep down in my heart what I did and what I didn't do. I know that I was a drug dealer, I was a drug seller. There was no doubt about that. But drug kingpin status and some of the stories that they told, you know, I just said to myself, the truth that's got to come to the light. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to come to the light. But the truth never did come to the light. What was successful for me was the accomplishments that I had while I was incarcerated, that I was going to school there, I was educating other inmates, I was giving classes, I I was trying to teach inmates how to read and write better, how to understand what was going on in their cases, how to communicate better with their lawyers, how to communicate better with their families and stuff like that, and so on. And I realized that we were in a system that if we don't come together and we don't fight together, we're going to lose. It's going to destroy the community, the Black and brown community, like you wouldn't believe, you know. And we just wasn't aware of what was happening to us. So I tried to educate people as to how to fight their cases, how to look at it differently, and how to change their mindset and stuff like that, you know. And I stayed focused on that more so than anything, and that kept me out of trouble. It kept me grounded. And before you know it, I had a bunch of accomplishments, and I used to follow the laws, the new laws that came out, study them, read them. I used to order congressional transcripts. I used to read them and see what the purpose of was for the new laws and stuff like that and so on. When the compassionate release law came out, I realized that it was a law that helped open the doors for people like myself that was in jail on ghost drugs and stuff like that.
The
False
compassion
testimony. Yeah, a lot of people call it also a 3582 motion. It allows the court to have a second look at your case and review your case and say, okay, we just gave this man 10 years. Is 10 years enough? Is it too much? What is he doing? Is he showing signs of rehabilitation and stuff like that and so on? So once that law came out, I realized that they gave the court an opportunity to look at your case and to take a second look. And so what I did was I asked the court to take a second look at my case, and I put down some of the accomplishments that I had, a couple of victories in the United States Supreme Court, a couple of victories with testimony from other inmates that I helped overturn their life sentences, a lot of inmates that I helped get their sentences reduced down to reasonable times, maybe somebody from 50 years to 5 years, somebody from 50 years to 10 years, and stuff like that. These guys gave testimony to support me. And not only that, the staff and the education department that I worked for, they gave letters in support of me having a reduced sentence. And so
You think they released you because you were helping too much people?
I thought about that too. That.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.